Today is probably one of the most monumental days in college football history. And I am all here for it. You know, it's funny, I didn't think I'd be making another one of these until the next season, especially making something like this about these absolute buffoons known as the NCAA. But here we are. A couple of years, actually I think around a year and a half ago, I made a video titled America Hates the Tennessee Vols. Now, my anger was a little misplaced. Of course, there are a lot of people who hate the Tennessee Vols. That's no surprise. They're one of the loudest fan bases on the planet, and we let you know about it. And there's, you know, it's guaranteed that Tennessee was going to be one of the most hated fan bases in all of college football, and that's just how it is. But little did I know that my statement had more truth to it than I thought. Fast forward about a year or so, going into the summer of last offseason, so a little less than a year ago, I made a string of videos talking about, you know, the latest allegations against Tennessee from the NCAA. All this new stuff came out about the Jeremy Pruitt fiasco, the whole Ronald McPruitt thing, and they finally had something that, you know, they were going to finally hammer down on Tennessee, and oh boy, did they hammer down. Tennessee was, you know, 5 years probation, $8 million taken from us in terms of money, 15 or so scholarship reductions. You get the idea. The NCAA came after Tennessee for all the Jeremy Pruitt stuff, and they hit hard. Well, guess what? It's happening again. The NCAA came after Tennessee again. Of course, by this point, you already know that. Everyone knows that. Pat Ford was the first one who dropped the news, and no shocker there. Pat Ford, you know, he gets his sphincter twisted every time somebody even mentions the color orange. So it's no surprise that he was the first one out of anybody to drop the news. And initially, I was hesitant on making a video about it because, well, it's just this one clown who's yapping on about Tennessee. No shocker there. You know, blah, 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 blah. But then, of course, all this new stuff came out about it and why they were going after Tennessee. And then that's when it was confirmed. And now I have to make a video about it. But I'm putting my own twist on it because things are bound to get very, very interesting in the college football world. In other words, Tennessee is about to annihilate the NCAA. And I don't mean that as in, oh, we're going to beat you and then you're going to run home and blah, 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 just turns to trash talk. No, I literally mean the Tennessee Volunteers are going to destroy the NCAA. As in, annihilate it completely. The NCAA, after all is said and done, will be no more. Now, all this stuff about the NIL violations is going after, of course, Mr. Nico Iamaleava, our starting quarterback for next season. And the violations that we apparently committed, now, a lot of people are confused. Some people think that it's because of the private jet that Nico apparently flew at some time in the past. I don't really know the details on that. But that's not the reason why the NCAA is going after Tennessee. In fact, it's something completely different. Now, it does still have something to do with Nico, but it's nothing to do with any type of private jet. At some point in the 2022 year, you know, before Nico became the starting quarterback, or before Nico even, you know, came on the roster, Spire, a sort of group that has something to do with the volunteer club, they signed a deal with Nico Iamaleava, and it was a NIL deal, and that's the entire premise of it. Now, nowadays, if they had done this right now, that would have been a violation of the rule. However, this was not a rule until January 10th of 2024, way after this had initially taken place. And so the NCAA is cracking down on Tennessee for a rule that did not exist when this initially took place. Are you serious? Are you for real? Like, when I hear this, I'm thinking there has to be something else that they're trying to hit us with. Some other allegation that they're trying to throw at us. The private jet thing sounds stupid and doesn't make sense. The volunteer club thing happened before it was initially a rule. So why in the world would they try to go after Tennessee for something that was legal when they committed it? It's insanity. There's literally no way they could be that dumb. Or at least I don't think they could be that dumb. But then again, this is nothing new here from the NCAA. Cherry picking who they crack down on is just kind of what they've been doing for the longest time now. They cracked down on LSU for a violation they committed back in 2016 over this offseason for whatever reason. Meanwhile, Michigan completely cheated. They did the whole Connor Stallions thing, and the NCAA just basically turned the other cheek. Just basically tried to look in the opposite direction and avoid it altogether. Even though Jim Harbaugh admitted that they were cheating. I mean, they just turned the other cheek, and I don't understand. And Michigan is an example, but they're not the only example. Texas A&M bought their entire 2022 class, and get this, Walter Nolan, their highest commit, claims that they weren't even paid what they were promised. But the NCAA, what do? Turn the cheek. Turn the other cheek, per se. Meanwhile, you got programs right now like Ole Miss and Ohio State who are basically just going out of their way, buying players from other schools, allegedly. I'm not confirming that by any means, but allegedly, you can look at what they're doing and find out pretty quick that that's probably what they're doing. And what's the NCAA doing? Turning the friggin' cheek in the opposite direction. Oh, but Tennessee did something 2 years ago they didn't like. Now I'm big triggered! Arrgh! What I don't understand is why are opposing fans, even if you are a fan base that hates Tennessee, if you are a Georgia fan or a Bama fan, and you certainly can't be a Florida fan because the NCAA's on your case too, but like a Vandy, Kentucky, whoever else, if you are any of these, any part of these fan bases, and you're sitting there going, yes, finally, they're going after Tennessee. Tennessee's going to get punished, and they're going to get a bowl ban, and Nico's going to be ineligible to play. It is going to be the best day of my life when it finally happens, and yay! If you're one of these people, then you're an absolute idiot. Because if you think that the NCAA one day isn't going to suddenly... these people think that the NCAA is going to look at a program like Alabama or Ole Miss or whoever else they look at and be like, yeah, they aren't doing anything wrong. No, that's not how that's going to play out. I can assure you 100%, whether it is tomorrow or 10 years from now, the NCAA will come after you. For what? Who knows? But they'll find something, that's for sure. But now, here's the fun part. The good news in all of this. Unfortunately for the NCAA, they have poked the bear too many times. You poked them once, shame on you. You poked them twice, and now the downfall has begun. So I got some great news. For all of you wanting the NCAA to be abolished, I've got some phenomenal news. It's happening. Okay, well, let me go ahead and explain how it's happening. Chancellor of the University of Tennessee, Miss Dondi Plowman, had a couple of choice words to say about the NCAA. Talking about, basically, the NCAA is failing. In fact, she didn't basically say that. She said that word for word. The NCAA is failing. And she left out a big, long essay telling you exactly what the plan is. If you come after us, we're going to fight back. And believe it or not, they're coming after us. So guess what? Guess what? We're fighting back. Tennessee, along with the Commonwealth of Virginia, have basically sued the NCAA in the Eastern District of Tennessee. Ain't that just a beautiful thing to hear? Now, let me explain why this is such a big deal. in case you don't get it, of course, this means that the NCAA and Tennessee are going to have to go to court. But mainly, this means one key word: discovery. And if you know anything about the law, this is a huge deal. The NCAA will be forced to reveal everything. Everything. All of the documents, all of the text, all of the messages, every single thing, whether it's about Tennessee or anybody else that relegates to anything related to this case, they will have to reveal it all. And if I'm the NCAA, thinking about how much of a corrupt organization that is the last thing that you want. Because you know it as well as everyone else does. If those documents get revealed, chances are you're looking at a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. Some big time trouble. And why would Tennessee not do it? What do we have to lose? You already put us under probation. We already lost a bunch of scholarships from last time. And furthermore, what grounds do you have to confirm that we're doing anything wrong? So, yep, the steps have been set in motion. The Tennessee fan base, and more importantly, the Tennessee University has gone to war with the NCAA. And I, like I said at the start of the video, am all here for it. And all I need to tell you, you already know this, NCAA, but I'm going to tell you right now. The Tennessee Vols are going to put the whooping of an absolute lifetime on the NCAA. Final score, 100 billion to nothing. Go Vols, baby! In the NCAA! Woo!
Wish that I was on old Rocky Top down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smoggy smoke on Rocky Top, ain't no telephone bill.
What have you done?